Have you ever wondered what all these markings on your carabiner mean? Let's take a deep dive into them. Hi, I'm Keith with the Petzl Technical Institute. Let's look at what these strength ratings are on the spine of your carabiner. So this is the Petzl OK Triac Lock Carabiner. And on the spine right here, it says MBS 25, 8, 7, KN. And so if you look next to those three numbers, you have a couple arrows. There's 25 with an arrow going this direction, 8 with an arrow going this direction, and then 7 with a little oval that's open to signify the open gate strength. So that's saying that this carabiner is 25 kilonewtons in this direction when you pull it in the proper orientation in the major axis. It's 8 kilonewtons if you load it in the minor axis, which is the way you're not supposed to load it. And then 7 kilonewtons when you load it in the major axis, but with the gate open. So when you load it this way. But all those numbers are preceded by 3 letters, MBS. That's the minimum braking strength. And more specifically, the 3 sigma MBS. So this carabiner, when you load it properly, like that in the major axis, right off the assembly line, from a statistical perspective, will almost never break below 25 kilonewtons. Let's take a look at why. Let's put on our hat as quality control engineer and pretend like we're breaking a bunch of carabiners in the factory to see how strong they are. So right down here, I have 25 kilonewtons, which is what's marked as our MBS, our minimum braking strength. And so here on the x-axis are the braking strengths that we're going to see, and on the y-axis is the number of samples that break at a given force. So we'll pretend like we're standing at the end of the assembly line, breaking every carabiner that comes off to see how strong they are. And for every carabiner that breaks at a certain load, I'll put a line and we'll stack up the lines every time we get more carabiners at that level. So say we get a carabiner that breaks at 29 kilonewtons, I'll put one line there. Next carabiner comes off the assembly line, say that one's 29 as well. So I have 2 samples that broke at 29. Maybe I get one that breaks at 27, maybe one that breaks at 31, maybe another at 29. And if I keep doing this for a lot of carabiners, you'll eventually get something that looks like this, which statisticians call a bell curve. So after we test many samples of carabiner, we get this bell curve over all of our samples. You notice the center of the bell curve is higher than the rated minimum braking strength of the carabiner. So the center of that bell curve is the average braking strength. And if you subtract 3 standard deviations from that number, that's where we get our 3 sigma MBS, or our 3 standard deviation minimum braking strength. To get your quality engineered Petzl equipment, visit Sherrilltree.com.